Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back again doing your mid-November monthly tarot horoscopes. This is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in the dear sweet Lambie Pup Scorpio. And as a quick update, I won't be doing my mid-December readings. Videos. I'll still be doing my readings for private sessions and couples, but for December, because it's going to be very busy and I have a bunch of other videos planned that I would like to do, I have decided not to do the mid-month videos. But if you are new to my channel, definitely click subscribe. That way you'll get notified when I do post my videos. I usually post my videos in the beginning of the month and then mid-month. Like I did in November this month, but for December it's just going to be the December general reading and then some other surprises that I have, and then I'll be back in January doing my regular twice a month readings. It depends. I may decide to just do January general and do other videos. It depends on how much time I have. Just as a heads up too, for those of you who would like to get in before Christmas, the month of December is going to be very, very busy because of the holidays for everybody, and myself included. So time is going to be kind of crunched down because there's going to be certain days that I'm not going to be working or that I am going to be recording. So I would like to, put that out there now. If you want to get it scheduled, emailing me sooner than later is advisable, okay? Even if it's much farther out than what you're expecting, okay? That's basically what I have to say there. My email again is elizabetholson31@gmail.com, and that's spelled OLSON, okay? So yeah, and then also I am letting everybody know that I need, for people who are 8 hours or more ahead, time zone difference wise, it takes at least 2 days to get you scheduled. So if you email me, say, I was giving this example in the Sagittarius video, on a Tuesday, chances are I might not get you scheduled until Saturday, okay? That's probably the fastest I'm going to be able to get you scheduled, because it takes me 2 to 3 days to get back to people via email, and then it'll take me 2 days to book you, okay? That's kind of the time frame right now. So let me lay out a spread, though, for you, my sweet Scorpio Lambie Puffs, to see what we've got going for you as far as the mid-November energies. And this is the middle of November to the end, okay, of November. Okay, Scorpio, so this is kind of, I was saying this earlier, a tense but intense time. Why? Because Scorpios are intense, okay? Individuals. It's kind of a mixed bag. You may be in a relationship with a Sagittarius, or may like a Sagittarius. There's some connection between you and a Sagittarius in November, okay? As far as relationships. Because you guys both got, or Capricorn as well, you both got the Queen of Swords in the spread, I remember. And the Queen of Swords for you is showing up here in the immediate future. I think Sagittarius, it was the outcome. So you may have been in a relationship with a Sagittarius or Capricorn or Aquarius female, okay? Or you may soon to be in a relationship with her, okay? Or him, okay? Because it can be a very feminine guy. Most of the time it's a female, though. I see the Queen of Swords as female, but it can be a very, diva-like guy, okay? For those of you who are new to my channel, I am jumping ahead to the card in the immediate future, okay, in the position of immediate future. I don't always start with what's going on with you now, okay? The Queen of Swords is what I was talking about with Sagittarius, is a very sharp, analytical female, okay, or very feminine guy. And she has been hurt before. So this card represents bitterness. This card represents the Ice Queen. This card represents feeling very cold towards someone or something. This can indicate living in a very cold climate as well. And I advise usually against if you have a lot of planets in, or you were born in the winter time, okay? In Capricorn, Aquarius, even Sagittarius too, because I mean Sagittarius is born in December, and that is winter time. So especially like the late Sagittarians, I want to say that the winter climates aren't really the best for you. Okay, if it's too cold, you're just prone to getting sick. That's basically what I said in Sagittarius, and I still feel the same for you. My feeling is that words have been said, okay? And the reason I say that is because she has these like little drops of blood coming, I know it sounds so gory, coming off of her sword there. You can see she's holding this crazy curved sword, and the curved sword is a painful sword, okay? This is a sword that's really going to make its mark. It just doesn't go in, it goes up and around and through, okay? So, it's just very, very cutting. Very, very cutting. It leaves its mark, okay? And because there's little drops of blood, in my mind, blood has been spilt, okay? The words have been said. Things have been done, okay? So to me, even though it's in the position of the immediate future, it may sort of talk a little bit about what's been gone on in the past, okay? So maybe she said something, or maybe you said something. There's some kind of dynamic there where things were said, and they may have been a major argument or blowout, and it was painful. It caused you some pain, okay? For those of you who aren't going through anything like that, the Queen of Swords is also the bird woman. You guys, people who are watching me have a connection to birds. And of course, Scorpio is, I think, ruled by the eagle. So there's a connection there. And also the birds our connection to birds are what gives us that fire, that desire energy. So that passion that Scorpios have. So there's a connection there to birds somehow, some way. You may have birds. Message me if you have birds, or you just may really like birds. I don't know why I'm getting that, but I am. And some of you may be very into, I want to say fashion. The first thing I got from the Queen is that she is into fashion. Like, she's a fashion queen. She's into beautiful jewelry and magical kind of headdresses and feather boas, and this is like I want to say like a drag queen. I don't know, like I'm seeing like a drag queen. So some of you may have kind of a wild drag queen side, which is really, I'm getting a tingle on that, which is really fun and awesome, and I think it's really great that you do that and you have so much fun with that. And the fashion, you're showing off your personality with fashion. You know what I mean? Speaking of fashion, I'm wearing my feather earrings to celebrate Thanksgiving, Turkey Day here in the United States, which is right around the corner here for us. So, and by the way, I'm wishing everybody a magical, happy Thanksgiving and many blessings to you over the holiday, those of you who are celebrating in the U.S. Okay, so you have that. That's coming up. You also have the Emperor crowning you. The Emperor is where things are very fated to happen in a certain way, okay? Where it's in a timing that you're not expecting, or in a way that you're not expecting. It's elements of fate which can cause some issue, where it's like you're trying to get someplace but you can't, okay? You're trying to do something but it's frustrating as all You know, this is a messy divorce. This is someone who, it's either you or it's someone you're in, you know, that's in your, you know, vicinity, you know, in your life somewhere. You know, Scorpio females, this could be a father figure, also authority, a figure of authority. This could be a boss, a tough boss. This could be your dad, your grandfather, someone who's really domineering. Typically, again, this is the Taurus, Capricorn, or Aries person. If you're a Scorpio and you have this, and I have seen Scorpios that have the Emperor energy, especially for a Scorpio female, okay? You are like, I want to say like a magical fairy queen. I don't know why I want to say that, but like a magical fairy. You have like you have this magical diva energy, okay? Like a goddess. You have this goddess energy, okay? Like a sorceress. You may have been a sorceress in a past life. I see this as someone who actually worked with magic in past lives, okay? If you're a female and this is you, okay? If you have dark hair, if you are very much connected to plants. Some of you are very connected to plants and the woods. And I'm hearing Diana, the wood, Greek. Diana is I think the goddess Diana is the one that is in the woods, I think. The huntress. I want to say something like that. There's this magical energy to you, okay, Scorpio. And Scorpios naturally have that, okay? So some of you may not have kind of this magical past life history. Some of you do. If this is you. Now, if this is a guy in your life, this could be someone who you're dealing with who is, you know, very, very, very strong, stubborn, stuck, you know, rigid, someone who just will not budge, okay? You can see there's like a wall behind him. This is the cement wall, okay? This is the wall that, you know, you ask him a question and he refuses, you know, to answer. You say, let's settle. Like, if you were going through divorce, let's settle and make it easy. Let's do it 50-50. And this is where he shakes his head, no. And he doesn't say anything else. And you're like, okay. You know, 60-40. He's like, no. I can't do it. It's hard for me to do the impression. He's just tough and he's stuffy and you may be dealing with like a husband that's like this. You may have been dealing with a husband that's like this. Message me if you are. Okay, this is just someone who's very, very tough. For everybody else who this is not their spouse or partner, this is somebody in your life that's showing up and they are very, very tough. Okay, this is the wall. When you have things that are happening again with the fate elements, though, if it's not a person, it makes life challenging. It makes life difficult. So you may be feeling this way. And I always say, you know, the Queen of Swords and the Emperor, this is this makes her a very cold marriage. Okay, cold marriage. Okay, so there's unhappiness here. Okay, there's unhappiness. You have this unhappiness, you know, wallowing sadness in the recent past. You know, Scorpio guys, you may be involved with a Pisces female. Okay, also could be also Cancer, or this could be you, Scorpio females. You may be involved with a Pisces female, okay, or a Scorpio Cancer female, okay, so it could be girl-girl situation here with this. But because you have these characters, you've got this wallowing Pisces, you've got this dominant, you know, you may be just at home with your parents, this is Thanksgiving, you know, dominant father figure, Emperor dude, who's just, like, impossible. You've got the Queen of Swords, who's just kind of bitter, and she's mistrustful, and she's kind of just like, you know, no one really likes her. She's kind of cold. It's gonna be like an aunt or something goes to dinner. You don't like her at all. You know, this is the family tribe. You know what I'm saying? This is tribal, okay? But if you're in a relationship, um, you may feel, you may have recently been disconnected from a relationship. But I feel like there's other things going on because you have the travel card, which is travel or moving, and your plans. This is when your plans go awry, okay? Or they don't quite get off the ground, or they don't go as planned. This is not wanting to move but needing to anyway. This is not wanting to do something but needing to anyway. So this is when your lease ends, but you're like, I have no other place to go. I don't know what to do, and you have to move. Okay, this is like not wanting to travel, but for whatever reason you need to because family needs you to go and be someplace. Okay, so it's just like things are happening which you don't necessarily want, and Scorpios can be very strong because they are fixed. Okay, so I feel like the last 2 weeks of November you're either going to be traveling. There may be some hiccups in your plans, and or there may be some delays in your plans, or there may be some major changes in your plans to what you originally. So maybe you were planning on going to Hawaii. Okay, let's just say you're planning on going to Hawaii, but for whatever reason, I don't know, a tsunami occurs. Like that's the worst case scenario. And I'm going to knock on wood here. Sorry. Worst case scenario. If something happens, like a big storm, like a major storm happens, and Hawaii shuts down for a day or two, and then therefore your plans, your flights get canceled, and you gotta go, you decide, okay, you're gonna go to Texas instead. I don't know why I picked Texas. Message me from Texas, okay? You're like, you were planning to go to Hawaii, but you're gonna decide to go to Texas instead. I don't know why, but that's it. Or you lose your luggage in Texas, which everybody's gotten their luggage lost at least once in Texas before, and you decide to go to California, or you decide to go to New York instead. Whichever one, you're like, okay, that's it, forget it. I'm going to buy a whole new wardrobe. I'm going to go shopping in New York. I mean, this is all my imagination, but you can understand what I'm saying here, okay? My Lambie pups. Okay, so that's the kind of energy that's going on in mid-November, and I want to say it kind of reaches out because she's got her arms like reaching out. It's kind of far-reaching, maybe even to the end of November. So you've got some characters going on here. I don't feel like this is a lovey-dovey time for you. The end of November, you're going to be focused on romance or wanting romance. Some of you may be, getting married or planning a wedding or thinking about marriage or, thinking about dating seriously. But this is where the outcome is negative. So the Two of Swords is the card where this is, and I call this the Bloody Wanker card, because this is someone who's emotionally unavailable. Now, to me, the Emperor is the person that's emotionally unavailable forever. Having an emotional connection with the Emperor is very hard, okay? Because the Emperor is like steel, is like concrete emotionally. It's sort of like he can't feel. Even if he wanted to feel, he's really out of touch with his emotions, and he doesn't want to show his emotions, okay? So it's like the guy that like hasn't cried in like 50 years. You know what I'm saying? It's his energy is all stuck inside him, and it's quite explosive if it does come out. Okay, so the Two of Swords is you giving your heart to somebody who is rejecting you. Okay, and this is where, and I will tell you that, ladies, if somebody has not called you within a week, okay, it's over. Recognize that it's over and move on. Admit that it's over, admit defeat. You probably don't want to, but you need to. And some of you are going like, well, I just want to know what else was going on with this character. Why are they not returning my calls? Why is it blah, blah, blah? And Scorpios will ask why until the end of time. Why? The answer is they don't see the relationship going anywhere. That's why. They are not interested. If they've stopped calling you, if they're ignoring you, if they've rejected you in some way, they're not interested. They can't be. And some of you are going, well, why couldn't they just tell me, okay? Why couldn't they just say it, okay? Because that's not how guys operate. And that's not how some girls operate, okay? They're not going to go into this long song and dance because they don't want to hurt your feelings, you know? Guys don't want to get into the messy conversation of why they're not interested, okay? Because it's a messy conversation. Because ultimately, they know that your feelings are going to get hurt. Ultimately, they know there's going to be emotions there. So they just want to avoid it altogether. So what they do is they just completely ignore you. And then women kind of, you know, still cling on to it even after it's over, even after the guy has made it very, very clear by ignoring your text messages, not returning your phone calls, not returning your emails, that they're not interested, but doesn't really compute. Scorpios will try to dig deeper and try to get to, like, you know, what else is going on? Is there another person? A lot of times with the Two of Swords, there is another person. There usually is, because that's why, one of the reasons why they're emotionally unavailable is that they like somebody else. But the majority of the time, Scorpio, it's just that they're not interested in a relationship with you. And that may be hurtful for me to say, but that's the truth. And so, in my mind, that's what I see, okay? The majority of the time, that's why. And accepting that and saying, okay, well, they're not interested in me. I'm going to move on to somebody else who is. That's what you need to do, okay? Moving on to a new and better, you know, target, you know. Scorpios could really hone in on their, you know, on their new conquest, you know. So it's time for something new, okay? It's time to accept that whatever reason, whoever this is for you, it's not going to go anywhere. It's a dead end. And I don't like dead ends when I do readings, because that means you've been traveling down a road that you needed to kind of turn off somewhere on, and you didn't. You just stayed on that road, and you need to let it go. You may be in a relationship or had been in a relationship for seeing the potential for the relationship to go somewhere. Scorpios are like, if there's just one thing like that I can just do differently and then fix it, it's like, because they see all the detailed parts. They see, okay, well, there's these things. They see all the components in a relationship. They see the emotional connection. They see the physical connection. They see the intellectual connection. They see the practical connection. So they're like, if I can just fix this one part or do this one thing, then maybe this relationship has a chance, you know? But the problem with that is that Scorpios, in a way, are perfectionists and don't know when to quit. It's almost like there's never really going to be a full red flag that goes off in their head that tells them no. Why? Because the shadow is the Taurus. And the Taurus, you can't tell a Taurus no. You know? The Taurus is the one to say no. And so the Scorpio is to me, it's like all saying yes. It's like saying yes, yes, yes to everything. Hopefully I'm making sense here. But basically, yeah, for the outcome to be the Two of Swords and to have the Queen of Swords, there's some element of conflict. There's some element of distrust. There's some element, for some cases, where there's cheating and there is a third party. Usually the Two of Swords guy is married or has a girlfriend, okay? The reason they're not responding to you is because they can't, because they have another person that they're talking to. That's it. Even if you were friends first, that's how it goes. You need to go out more and date more and let this person go, because the card that I pulled for what's the solution is you going out and being social, the Three of Cups. Not over drinking, but having fun, maybe going out for a glass of wine or beer or something where you're having fun with some friends. You know, it's just having fun, getting back into the dating scene if you haven't in a long time, letting go of this bloody wanker dude, okay? And I think one of my, I don't know who it was, one of my viewers commented and said, well, I think they said that isn't a bloody wanker like a prostitute or something. And in my mind, it's just a derogatory comment, okay? It's just saying this is somebody who's just a jerk, just an asshole, just not a good person. So whatever the technical definition is, I don't care. To me, it's somebody who who's emotionally unavailable, is not giving you what you need. A lot of times there's a third party involved. That's what makes them the wanker. It's not because they're rejecting you. It's because there's usually somebody else. And usually they're emotionally unavailable, and usually they're not telling you that there's another party involved. A lot of times they're just not talking to you, which makes them kind of a jerk. But at the same time, there's a reason for why they're not talking to you. So there's some disconnection, Scorpio, here. You may be the person that's disconnected from somebody, okay? Whether it's you're a guy or a girl, you may be very disconnected. You may have broken up with somebody in the past. This is in distant past because to me there are no breakup cards here. So you could be wallowing about a breakup, or wallowing about somebody not returning your phone calls, or wallowing about not somebody having this disconnect. Don't get back into the fray here as far as trying to rehash any old stuff with any old partners. Because to me, this could be an old argument. This is an old argument that you won't let go of, that needs to happen. So you need to, and I do feel like a lot of people don't want to date, which I understand, because dating is really killer sometimes, It sucks sometimes really badly. But you got to go through the process, or else you're just going to be, in a way, obsessing about someone who doesn't want you, and you need to feel wanted. You want to feel wanted. It's more important that you empower yourself to move on from this person than stay in a place of longing and stay in a place of wallowing and pining for somebody that's just not there for you. And when you could be giving your attention and love to somebody who is there for you, That's kind of how I see it. So, okay, I didn't talk about... And you have the vacation card as the foundation. So you may have taken a vacation recently, or in, not so recent, maybe a while ago you took a vacation and you took some time to recharge. The fact that you have this card here, to me, the last 2 weeks in November, the universe is saying you need to recharge. You need to rest. You need to relax. You need to do things that are easy. Put down the sword. Okay, whoever this is, don't engage with them if they're another person. If this is you being bitter from the past, don't engage. Just let it go. But then at the same time, see, you're balancing. You're going from wallowing and disconnecting completely, which is, the Four of Cups, where you're like in dreamland and you don't talk to anybody at all, and you're like doing your own thing and you're wallowing, to being bitter. And when you do engage, you're bitter. You do it in a harsh way. And to me, this is out of character. So to me, if this is you being bitter or being harsh, it doesn't feel like my normal Lambie puff. It feels like you've been hurt really bad, and so you're really acting out of character. Or like I said, you have some strong Capricorn or Aquarius or Libra or Gemini or some very strong air in your chart, and that's making you bitter. It's making you sharp. You may have like a Scorpio moon or ascendant or something, too. Or you may be watching this for somebody else, too, because a lot of people do that. They watch it for their partner. So I left this card. This isn't the center of everything. So this is what's going on mid-November, right around the time you're going to be watching this video. And to me, this is the best card. You got 2 of the best cards in the deck. But at the same time, they're modified by the negative, okay? So even though they're shining really bright and they are really, really positive, you have 2 cards which are negative right after that. So you have a little bit of a hot and cold thing going on here, where things are really, really great and then things suck, like abysmally suck, okay? Because you have my 2 favorite cards. You have the 8 of Cups in reverse, and you have the Lovers card, right? Later on in November, at the end of November, this is your position of, Lovers is in the position of your attitude, okay? And that's what you want, okay? And in the center of everything, you have this card about completing karma. And this is a card where this is harmony, this is beauty, this is ascension, this is, just completion. This is perfection. This is divine wisdom. And Scorpios do have, I feel, I want to say, a tough. Scorpios, Taurus, it's a tough place to be. For you to have completed some karma, that's awesome, though. Okay, so some of you, are completing karma. Some of you have completed your karma. Okay, which is you should be giving yourself a pat on the back. Several pats, both hands, to really enjoy this moment. Okay, you have two very positive moments, and completing karma is something that it's about having learned a lot of lessons. Okay, and gone through a lot. This is traveling far and learning much, Scorpio. So for some of you, it's been a rough ride. It's been a long year. It's been you've had a tough life, and a lot of circumstances for you have not been easy. So this is using your light, though, and taking all the things that you've learned, putting them into practice. This is understanding much after much hardship. Okay, this is being in a place of letting the divine kind of flow, being in the flow, which is exactly where you want to be. Okay, that's what I like to see for Scorpio. Okay, being in that flow, going with the flow, being connected to source, being connected to the divine, having that light of intuition that's turned on, that you're using, and sharing and connecting with other people, similar to Pisces or similar to Cancer. There's a need for sharing, for deep connection with others, and this is where you're at, Scorpio, mid-November. This is that need for that deep thing that only Scorpios do. They do best, that connection. You may be in a relationship with a Pisces, where Scorpio guys, this may be a partner. Again, there may be some on and off business here with the Pisces, if this is the case, because we have her being in a place of harmony here. Everything's right with the world, and then her being in the complete disconnection in the recent past. So in the past, maybe you weren't talking, but now you're talking again. There's something about reconnection. So Scorpios, there may be some kind of reconnection to some people in your life. There may be a reconnection to an old flame, an old friend, an old lover. There's a connection, an ex-boyfriend, an ex-girlfriend. There is a rule of thumb, you never want to get back with an ex, but I feel like it's less about partnership and more about just connecting with other people in a very, very positive way, very, very strong way, like just having a deep conversation. And I do want to say it's a spiritual conversation too, having a very spiritual conversation and sharing that knowledge. And both of you are, I want to say both of you are enlightened. You're similar, okay? And this is looking to heaven for answers. This is, some of you may be Scorpio. Some of you may be very dedicated to going to church or dedicated to religion. Some of you may be spiritual, not religious. It may just be, it depends on who you are. But there may be some very spiritual people that are watching this. And I feel like Scorpio water signs are really naturally this way. But I feel like you really are, because she's really ascending. And it's like she's taking with her all this that she's learned, and she's looking to heaven for guidance, and she's trusting, and she's praying, and she's manifesting, and she's, and then I'm saying she, but it could be a he as well, okay, too, because this to me is a card that doesn't gender specify. Yes, it's a female, mermaid, whatever, but anybody can complete karma, okay? Anybody can get to that divine ascension point where, you've learned a lot, and you've grown a lot in life. So we have those two cards, and right next to them are these negative cards. So it's like we have this Eight of Cups, which is divine harmony and wisdom and beauty and magic, and then we have the Queen of Swords, who is just like in her own land, okay, in her own winter wonderland, okay? Two very different energies, two very, very different places, okay? And then we have this lovey-dovey, romance, love card. And then we have the Two of Swords, which is a disconnect, completely disconnecting, where you don't talk to the other person, or the other person doesn't want to talk to you. This is the silent treatment. This is where, the silent treatment is enough to drive a Scorpio crazy, too. Scorpios don't tolerate silent treatment. Scorpio can't handle it, okay? Scorpios can't handle any disconnect at all. The fact that you have two cards here in your reading that are talking about disconnecting, okay, which is the Four of Cups, which is the disconnect from the world and feeling like, I don't want to talk to anybody, please just leave me alone. And then the Two of Cups, which is about, Two of Swords, which is about wanting to talk to somebody and communicate something. To me, this is about, for some of you, it's issues in your existing relationship. If you are in a relationship, major issues within there. Maybe you're not talking. Maybe there's distrust. Maybe there are some, feelings that have been hurt. I'm hearing the words bridge over troubled waters. You know what I'm saying? So maybe, the waters for you, your emotions have been quite turbulent and things have been very difficult, and you're trying to figure out how to move past those things. Maybe you're trying to figure out how you're feeling and what your emotions are, You have the Nine of Cups coming in from the outside, and the Nine of Cups is, this is how it was. The Nine of Cups is, the player. This is the Pisces. So again, you have a connection with a Pisces, Scorpio. Whether you're watching this and you're a Pisces with Scorpio in their chart, or whether you're Scorpio and you're watching this for your partner, or whether you're a Scorpio with Pisces, or Pisces with Scorpio, one or the other. I'm getting confused. In their chart, this is what's going on. The Nine of Cups, again, for some people, is prosperity and money flowing in. Okay, this is a great card for money flowing in. You have it also meeting up with the Ace of Pentacles, which is in the position of emotions. Now, I will tell you to be very cautious, because money makes Scorpio happy. It just does. Because then Scorpio can go out and buy all those fancy things that it wants. Okay, Scorpio likes nice, shiny things and likes spending money, just like anybody else. Okay, not as much as the Aries likes spending money, but almost just as much. Okay, when a Pisces Scorpio connect, there's something kind of sort of magical and mystical about it. Okay. But the problem is there's almost too much emotion between the two of them for either of them to kind of keep it together, okay? So it's just kind of a connection. It's just like basically your relation just flows downriver, downstream, and gets flushed down the toilet eventually. Which, not for everybody, but in my mind, it's like a flood. It's just a flood. It's just too much. Pisces have too much, more than they can handle for themselves, okay? Then they meet somebody else who has more water, and it's just, it's a disaster waiting to happen. That's all I'm going to say, okay? So you may have a strong connection to a Pisces, but the problem is it's just so much water that it leads to issues. It leads to problems, okay? Now, here's the thing. The Nine of Cups is usually, in my mind, this is the number one player in the deck. So if you're dealing with a player, you're dealing with this hot and cold business, where they're coming, they're going, they're coming, they're going, or you never really know where you stand, or this person isn't talking to you, or, this person is married. This is the drama, okay? This is where the drama unfolds, okay? This is where I tell you that he's playing you, or she's playing you, okay? And it's not a relationship, it's a project. And I'm going to create 2 hashtags. It's not a relationship, it's a project, okay? Hashtag, it's a project, okay? For you, Scorpio. Because the Nine of Cups, to me, there's a cup there in the center, and it's a triangle. There's a major triangle. This is a love triangle. This is where it's, It's not good, okay? But, okay, on the other side, okay, going back to the finances, money, finance is a very good time for you, okay? So money's flowing in, whether you are Scorpio or Pisces. Hang on just a second. My computer is doing something weird. That is so crazy. My computer just loaded all these crazy photographs, and I'm like, what is it doing? That is so wild. What can I say? Random, weird, you know, my computer tries to go to sleep even though I made sure that it doesn't go to sleep on me. It's never supposed to go to sleep. I don't know. I'm going to get a new camera so you're not going to have to deal with all these crazy issues. Where was I talking about? Oh yeah, money. Okay, so you got to watch out. Money, I want to say, is the root of all evil, Scorpio. You know, you can't be the only thing that makes you happy. You have to find other things that make you happy. You have to work on it, okay? Whether that's getting a hobby, okay? Joining a club, you know, starting a club, doing something in the community. Whatever it is, you have to do something that's not financially related to make you happy, okay? And start to really sit with it, okay? This is a great time if you are in business or if you are working for either getting a raise or where money is flowing in, you're just making a lot of money. Okay, some of you, this is really good business deals. Okay, really, really, really prosperous time. Okay, so I don't think you have to worry about money. But again, there's an obsession about it, and I say obsession because Scorpios have a tendency to become obsessed more than anybody else about things. And it's a focus, okay? Let's just say it's a focus. It may not be an obsession, but it's a focus, okay? And it's in the position of emotions. And what should be in the position of emotions is any of the other water cards or the love card or something that is not financially related, okay? So that's what I would like to see for you. Okay, so there really isn't much else for me to talk about. I think I really pretty much talked about everything. The other card that really is calling to me, and I pulled it here, is the Five of Cups. And when the Four of Cups and the Five of Cups show up again, and I was talking about this earlier, and this is an overwhelming amount of emotion. This is an overwhelming amount of you know, or just feeling overwhelmed. Of feelings, either for somebody or you're just kind of trying to figure out where you stand. And you're kind of standing on a very interesting place. You're standing, and you may live by the beach, okay, or you may live someplace by water, okay, on the coast. Message me if you do. That you're standing there trying to figure out, and you know, with a broken heart or with, you know, old emotions that are kind of washing over you, and you're just kind of trying to figure out where you're at with life. And you're on the beach of life, and you're going, when are things going to happen? When are things going to get better? When am I going to meet Mr. Right? How much longer is it going to take? When the two of the four come together, sorry, not the two and the four, the four and the five, the Four of Cups and the Five of Cups, it's progressively more of an emotional time, okay? It's more emotions than you really know what to do with. So this would be a good time for journaling. Crying is good, let it out, but then fill yourself up with positive experiences. Do something that makes you happy, and whether it's going out and having some fun with some girlfriends or guy friends, whatever it is that's going to do it for you, that's what you need to focus on. Because, and or seek counsel, because this much emotion can bring people down to a negative place, and I don't want to see that for you. So stay positive. I said this for Sagittarius too, and try to keep your head above water. If some of you are like drowning under bills, because I feel like you're drowning. It's like you're underwater with bills or underwater with your mortgage. This may be kind of a stressful time, but I don't feel like financially you're suffering. I really don't. If you're having some financial struggle, I feel like that's a momentary thing. It's like a momentary lapse of concentration. You'll go back to making more money in the future. If you've lost any money, you're going to be making money in the future. Beware of the rocky road, because you have fate happening right now, which means you may not get what you want, but you get what you need for your soul's growth, and you are completing karma. And when the two show up together, this is a very intense time for you. So, this is a very long video, but thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. That's all I've got for you today. I will be back doing more videos. Definitely click subscribe if you'd like to be notified when I post my videos. And you know, if you'd like to donate to my channel, feel free to. I did enable the fan funding link. So I send you big hugs, my Lambie pups. Big kisses. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Okay, take care.